Okay, hello everyone. Thanks for joining us for this special edition of the American Embryo Transfer Association Talks. Today we'll be talking about everything you can look forward to at the 2024 AETA CETA-ACTE Joint Annual Convention. My name is John Gibbons, and I'm an Associate Professor of Reproductive Physiology here at the Texas Tech University School of Veterinary Medicine. And I'm on this podcast today, kind of filling in. I serve as the chairman of the Education Committee for the AETA. We have two guests with us today, Drs. Bartlett and Drs. Kristjansson, and I'll let them introduce themselves. If you'll go first, Matt.
Sure. Matt Bartlett, I'm the Vice President and co-chair of the Convention Committee for the AETA. Been working with Justin, and we're excited for the program that we've put together and looking forward to sharing that with you guys.
Yeah, thanks, John. Thanks, Matt. Justin Kristjansson. I'm a executive member of the Canadian Embryo Transfer Association and our co-chair of the Convention Planning Committee. Matt and I and the committees have been working, putting the program and everything together here this year, and excited to get things out in front of you guys here.
Thank you, gentlemen. And I wanted to note that the AETA and the CETA will be meeting together for the 23rd time in our history. And this conference is going to be held October 17th through the 19th in Toronto. And so we've got 2 full days of social and scientific events. And the way our format works, it's 2 years this conference is held in the States, and every 3rd year it's held in Canada. And this year it's in Toronto. So if you could give us a little bit of information about Toronto, Justin, that'd be great.
Yeah, we're excited to host back in Canada after a long period. We missed our last 3rd rotation, 3-year rotation due to the COVID virtual conferences, and it's fantastic to be back in person. Toronto's a great destination. It's easy to get into, big international airport, and lots to offer. Phenomenal hotel that we're at. Like I think John mentioned, we're at the Weston Harbor. It's right on Lake Ontario, beautiful views out over the water, and right downtown. Lots going on in Toronto. If we not doing any specific spouse tours like we used to, but there is lots of Toronto tourism stuff up on both websites if you need to check that out. Toronto has lots to offer, and it's a really good big open convention center. The flow of the meeting should be great at the location we're at. Yeah, it's kind of the gist on Toronto.
Thank you for that. And I also wanted to mention that we've returned to our Thursday to Saturday format, so a little different from last year. Also, let's talk about the important stuff first. Let's talk about the social events. I'm really excited about the pre-conference social and the banquet. So if you could give us some information on the social and the golf tournament, that'd be great.
Yeah, so we'll obviously the CE's coming up on Friday and Saturday again this year. Before that, though, as the guys come in on Thursday, we have the annual golf tournament. First thing Thursday morning, again sponsored by Partner Animal Health, and we're going to the Piper's Heath Golf Club. It's a phenomenal golf course just outside of Toronto, so there'll be transportation provided from the hotel. It's a really nice walkable par 72 course, designed around really nice landscape and kind of Scottish Highland feel to things there. Beautiful course, transportation out there and back for the Thursday, and it's a phenomenal event. We thank Partner for continuing to sponsor that with us. Into the evening on Thursday, like John mentioned, the social is back on the Thursday evening. That pre-conference social will be sponsored again by Vetakino, and we booked it out at the Hockey Hall of Fame. Tried to make things as Canadian as we could for our big return home. So yeah, Hockey Hall of Fame, and it is walkable distance from the hotel, which is nice. Transportation is also available if needed for folks. And that Hockey Hall of Fame is basically it's the home of the Stanley Cup and all things memorabilia, trophies, and history of hockey. There's a lot of interactive displays, a lot of interactive games type things like that folks can entertain themselves with, and obviously we'll have a great a great meal on top of that, and lots of socializing to get us fed and watered and entertained throughout that evening.
Great, thank you for that. And then the banquet entertainment, I guess, is sponsored on Friday night by Reproductive Resources, so we're looking forward to that as well. Also, we have a couple of really exciting pre-conferences seminars this year. If you guys could give us some information on that, Justin and Matt.
Yeah, John, I'll start in on seminar 1 is going to be back to basics, applying bovine ART fundamentals to 2024 scenarios. So we're basically going to be taking a similar format to what we did last year in Orlando in the pre-conference, getting into groups. We're going to spend more time in our group format, just bouncing ideas off, and each one of those groups will be led by members of the AETA and CETA board, as well as some other experienced practitioners out there that will chime in and help us with those different scenarios. Really just looking at how we can get back to some of the basic physiology and fundamentals that have driven this industry over the years, and apply those to some specific scenarios that we've maybe come across from time to time. And I think it'll be a great opportunity for us to think outside the box, maybe get a little bit different perspective from some other practitioners in different areas, and hear some different approaches. And for our younger practitioners, I think there's going to be a wealth of knowledge that will be available to be tapped during that session. So really looking forward to kind of really focusing on just some of those central dogmas of physiology that's around the ART that we apply, and being able to apply that to our everyday scenarios that jump up on us. So should be good.
Thank you for that, Matt. And Justin, if you could give us some information about the small ruminant pre-conference.
Yeah, so the pre-conference 2 kind of follows up on the last couple of years that we've done the small ruminant embryo transfer pre-conference seminars, both last year in Orlando and the year before in Louisville. Those were very well attended, very well received small ruminant embryo transfer pre-conferences. Dr. Lynn Tate from OC Flock Management in Alberta, she's a board member with us for CETA, and she'd offered after the very successful last couple of years that we should probably look at doing a hands-on live pre-conference for small ruminant embryo transfer. So she's really spearheaded that for us. We've got the Toronto Royal Agricultural Fairgrounds on board to give us some space to work with that. So Lynn is going to run, Dr. Tate is going to run 2 pre-conference seminars for the small ruminants. One will be at 9 a.m. on the Thursday, and one will be at 2 p.m. on the Thursday, same as it had been in the past. But those are limited spots there. We're looking at 20 registrants for each of those sessions. So definitely register early for those. They'll be sure to fill up. There'll be on-site transportation available from the hotel and back. And if you're needing the CE hours, there is a unique opportunity this year then that if you do both that morning session, you could also do the bovine in the afternoon and get another 3 hours of CE that we normally couldn't get into the conference program. So should be a good hands-on session. Excited to get some more hands-on stuff back in the program.
Thank you, Justin. And I know there's been a lot of interest in both of those topics, especially the small ruminants, and how we can kind of get some more information about those techniques. And Matt, if you could give us an update on the recertification session.
Yeah, John, one other note before we move on to that, on the session 1, last year we had people kind of randomly assigned, and this year just be looking for some information coming out, because we're going to try to get you guys the opportunity to kind of pick some topics that you're interested in, as opposed to just randomly assigning it to groups. So that was some feedback we had last year that we're going to try to implement this year, and see if we can get you guys in some relevant topics there that will be useful to you. But yes, we we'll on Thursday have the AETA recertification session. So this will be the 4th round in our 5-year cycle. So if you are a certified AETA member and you haven't been to one of these recertification center summit sessions, would definitely recommend you consider getting it out of the way this year so that you're not vying for limited spots next year as we get to the last year in our 5-year cycle. But we'll be taking a similar format to what we've done in years past. Just in this 5-year cycle, we continue to focus on labeling and making sure that we're consistent as certified members and the products that we're putting out there and the labels that are there. And so the first 3 sessions we've had in there have always been good. We get a lot of different perspectives and see a lot of different things there, and would be a good opportunity to continue to learn from each other and point each other in the right direction as to where we need to be as certified practitioners.
Thank you for that, Matt. And as we kind of get into the meat of the program on Friday, what do we have to look forward to?
Hopefully bacon at breakfast, I hope.
All right. And just one of the first sessions that we're going to see on Friday will be improving IVP and dairy herds, presented by Dr. Paul Fricke from the UW. And I'm sure we're all looking forward to that, as much IVP as we see that's kind of becoming part of the industry. Also, looks like we're going to be talking about color Doppler ultrasound to evaluate luteal function and embryo transfer programs by Dr. Pedro Fontes. And then the student technician session will be OPU demonstration and tips, searching for oocytes, grading, more of a demonstration and practice sort of event by Dr. Ruby Rubio. And this session is followed by a lunch for the students and the professionals to network, and it's a sponsorship opportunity for those of you that are interested. Could you carry on with the next one, Justin?
Yeah, so the further into the Friday program, Dr. Sofia Ortega is going to do session 3 there for us, join us from the UW as well, Wisconsin. She's going to discuss her research on paternal impacts on embryo development, what the sire side brings to that embryo development. And Dr. Jamie Stewart will be filling in session 4 there afterwards, and considerations for ET programs in regards to modified live vaccines and their effects on fertility, in kind of all aspects of our ET programs. After Dr. Stewart's first talk there, we're going to have a practitioner tip from Dr. John Gibbons. And if you want to go over yours, John.
Sure. We're going to be talking about some of the experiments we've done with some of the frozen embryos that we've received as donations, and looking at the post-thaw viability, at least for the first 48 hours or so. And so that's a pretty short practice tip sort of presentation. And then session 5 is biosecurity and cooperator herd reducing risks for disease introduction, also by Dr. Jamie Stewart. So we're looking forward to that. What else do we have, Matt?
We'll have an AETA certification session where we will be discussing embryo export challenges and review some of the recent EU requirement changes. Should be a fairly good session where we can get some good information there. Definitely excited for not just Friday, but the whole program here. That I think Justin and the program committee have done a really good job of picking some topics here that are very applicable. There should be several things that we can take away here and apply directly to practice here, as well as some things that are going to make us think and maybe challenge us a little bit on a couple fronts and how we go day to day, as well as what's maybe coming down the line. So I think there should be some really good discussions and some good takeaways in this year's program.
Also, and kind of wedged in between session 4 and 5 is the poster session, and I think we could expect as many as 10 posters. So that's usually a good opportunity to network with some folks and also get some ideas about some of the current research that's going on. So I think that kind of wraps things up for us on Friday. I do think we have 10 AETA travel scholarships that have been announced for veterinary and graduate students in the U.S. And Justin, there's some from CETA as well.
Yeah, we're just finalizing our student scholarships here this week as well. It was good to see the AETA ones announced this morning. That's fantastic. We're probably looking at a good number, hopefully a record number for our students as well this year. So definitely good to see that interest from across North America students to get up here and take in this convention conference with us.
Great, thank you for that. And Matt, what do we have on tap for Saturday?
Sure. So Saturday, we're going to start off kind of talking about um, taking care of our bodies and some ergonomics and trying to prevent some work-related injuries in bovine practice. I'm going to have Justin help me out with our speaker's name there because I'm going to butcher it otherwise. Justin,
Yeah. Yeah, we've got Scott Ulan Hockey. He's a physical therapist from Ohio coming up to present for us. He's done some work with quite a few dairy practitioners around his area, and he's done some presentations and work with the AABP as well. That's where I was introduced to him, and he's really excited to get up here and join us. Kind of fascinated by how much time we spend with our arms and doing things. So he's got some good stuff planned for us about taking, like Matt said, taking care of ourselves and healing injuries that we do sustain.
And then in session 7 and 8, Dr. Ricardo Chabel will be leading us on reproduction in the era of genomics and automation. So again, continuing, I think, some of the topics from the pre-conference of applying some of those basic reproduction and just kind of talking about what that looks like in today's era with the advances in technology that continue to come available and challenge us and excite us. And I think that will be a really good discussion there.
And before we press on, Justin, I do want to remind everybody that the social hour on Friday evening will be sponsored by Reproductive Resources. And then we do have entertainment for the banquet, Sandy Vine and the Midnight Band. So we're looking forward to that. Also, in that mid-morning break on Saturday, we do have another opportunity to look at some posters. So I think that leaves us with session 9, Justin.
Yeah, session 9 is going to be presented by Dr. Marc-Andre Serrard. He comes to us from Laval and the RQR research group in Quebec. He's got a talk planned for us on epigenetic legacy from parents and assisted ART techniques and that effect on embryos and the ensuing animals. So some epigenetic legacy stuff there, some really interesting research that he's got there. After that one, we can have our next practitioner tip session, a little bit different on this one. Dr. Jonathan Luhillier, he's our CETA president right now. He's going to present a quick practitioner tip on some equine ovum pickup work that he's been doing in his practice, and basically titled it "What We Know and What We're Learning." It's definitely a newer aspect of equine embryo transfer work and a whole lot different than bovine OPU work. So looking forward to that from Jonathan.
So we'll have bovine, small ruminant, and equine discussions, hopefully. Then session 10 is going to be the opportunities to improve in vitro embryo production by Dr. Jeremy Block. And obviously that's a very important topic in the industry and a lot of research in that area as well. And of course, we do have those poster sessions and lots of time to network with practitioners and students and researchers and the whole ball of wax. Please remember for the Americans to check your passports. I believe we don't need a visa, if I'm correct, Justin, but we do need a passport.
Yes, that's my understanding as well, but certainly need a passport to get up here, but you should not need a visa to attend the conference.
Great. And do you have any airport tips for us or any ideas about getting from the airport?
Yeah, so Toronto's major international airport is Pearson. Pearson International Airport should be fairly easy to book into for most of our American and Canadian colleagues coming up. And then we're right downtown from the airport, so it is a bit of a drive or a train ride in. There is the Union Pacific train right from the airport right downtown. Is a fairly quick and easy way to do that. I've done that train down to this hotel before. It's a short walk afterwards, so not too bad. Obviously, you can taxi or Uber from from the airport down to the hotel as well. Fairly easy to get around, and right on the water, right on the harbor front on Lake Ontario. So nice spot to get to. There is another airport in Toronto. There is Billy Bishop Airport. You might see on some airline bookings. That is right across the harbor from the hotel. If you can book into Billy Bishop, it's a very short ferry ride, couple-minute ferry ride from the airport right over to the hotel. Not sure about international availability there, but if you see Billy Bishop and it works for you, don't be scared to book right onto the water right there.
So thank you for that. And remember that registration is open, so go ahead and book your hotel room now. We will be at the Western Harbor Castle in Toronto, October 17th through the 19th. And Matt, if you could help us by introducing some of our sponsors.
You bet, John. So our double platinum sponsor this year will be Vetikino again. Our platinum sponsors will be MAI, Professional Embryo Transfer Supply, Reproduction Resources. Our gold sponsors are Minitube and Transova Genetics. Our bronze sponsors are ABT 360, Bovatech, Partner Animal Health, Solvet, and our friend sponsor is Bo Ringer Ingelheim. And we just want to say thank you to all our sponsors and remind everybody out there that if you'd still like to be a sponsor, there's still some opportunities. And so reach out to either Beverly or Morgan, and we'd love to have you be a part of that list as well.
I will say on a personal note, this is my first time sitting in on these kind of planning committees, and I really appreciate all the work that the folks have done to put this thing together. There's a lot of things to consider and a lot of factors to take into play to put together this program, and we're looking forward to seeing as many folks as we can up in Toronto in October.
The only other thing I'd mention there still, John, is our exhibitors as well. The exhibit hall will be back, is booked right full for the year. I think you'd mentioned that earlier too. We do have many of our normal returning exhibitors coming back again this year, and a couple new ones on board that we're excited are with us, and everybody to work through. The exhibit hall will be open at 6:45 on Friday morning. So we've got some time before scientific programs start that exhibit hall will be open nice and early and into Friday. With a similar format to last year. We had really good reviews of meals and things like that in our exhibit hall. So very, very interactive with our exhibitors, and lots of them are sponsors as well that'll be there. We thank all of our exhibitors. They can be seen on both websites too.
Thank you for that, Justin. And yes, I think we do have 19 exhibitors so far, or 21 companies total. And I believe we do have some sponsorship opportunities still outstanding, mostly for the break sessions. So if you're interested, please follow up with the association headquarters.
I'd end with just really encourage everybody to come out. I think we got a great program. We're going to have a lot of fun, and more practitioners we get there, the better interactions we have, and we'd love to see you guys in Toronto.
Great, thank you very much, and thank you, gentlemen. And we'll see you in a month or so.
Sounds good. Thanks, John. Thanks for organizing this for us. I'm looking forward to getting up there and seeing everybody.
Take care.
Yep.
Thanks.